Man, I'm chilling. I ain't bothering nobody. I'm just chilling. You know what I'm saying? I go shopping. I give me a mean leather jacket. I think I'm doing my thing. I'm like, I'm my own little planet. I ain't with nobody. Man. So always got to try to one up on me, right? Have one up on me. I get a banging leather jacket. This Busta get a leather lineup.
If Busta ever try to phone me, hit you with no delay, so what you saying, yo? Silly with that 9 milli, what the devil, yo? Yeah, I do his better than him. He better not play with me. I will and perform Busta Rhymes show. Look, man, if they try to say that if you ever thought that the Busta Rhymes was better than me, you crazy. You crazy, man. You just look.
For years, the full picture involving 50 Cent, Diddy, and Busta Rhymes wasn't hidden so much as filtered, carefully shaped by the people it involved. What reached the public were scattered glimpses, while the deeper currents of power, loyalty, and influence stayed just out of view. This documentary follows 50 Cent as he moves past the rumor mill to look at how closeness to someone like Diddy can shape who talks, who goes quiet, and who gets to control the timing of disclosure. As Busta Rhymes becomes central to that restraint, the real question stops being about scandal and starts being about control. Who ultimately decides when a story is allowed to surface?
I'm just visual artist. It's always been that. When Busta don't look like Busta, because Busta neck getting big and Busta belly is sticking out.
Tell him change too big. Whoa, man. Tell that nigga change too big. He ain't no friends. They're not telling him.
Busta can't match up with 50. Is you crazy? Put that shit in front of me. Put that shit on the side. Put that shit behind me. Man, he's at a point where he just had a moment and everybody showing their appreciation for his rock.
Big up to 50 Cent for bringing us out there with him on that Final Lap tour. Did the first show July 21st. My last show was November 21st. He's still on that same tour.
Yeah, man.
He don't play with that work. Ever since he first came to Violator and the first Get Rich or Die Trying came out, he was the only one that would jump on a plane like the shit was a cab. This is how he...
The documentary doesn't open with an accusation. It opens with a pattern. Scattered clips, half-finished sentences, and offhand comments circulate separately until they start to line up. What once seemed like background chatter begins pointing, quietly but persistently, toward Busta Rhymes at a moment when being visible has become its own kind of risk. Context matters here. This wasn't one statement, but a slow buildup driven more by repetition and timing than by any single intent. As the story solidifies, public opinion moves faster than any verification process can keep up with, turning loose timelines into settled conclusions. In a media environment where speed beats scrutiny, one question keeps surfacing. When perception outpaces the facts, how much room is left for the truth to catch up?
There has been so much going on in the music industry and the headlines pertaining to Diddy. How closely are you paying attention to his case, the allegations, and the things that are coming forward with him?
I just kind of like to pay attention to the truth. When that time manifests, then, we'll speak about this, hopefully when that time comes. As far as I'm concerned, you know what I'm saying? But I wish the best for everyone involved. God bless everyone involved. And, I think that we should all kind of be a little more mindful of how much we speak on.
There was a stretch when the bond between artists like 50 Cent and Busta Rhymes seemed unbreakable. Shared stages, mutual respect, and the industry's quiet code of looking out for one another. The documentary treats that history as necessary context rather than sentimentality, because silence only means something once you understand what came before it. Once controversy enters the picture, closeness gives way to distance, and loyalty starts to feel measured out in careful amounts. What reads as absence might really be strategy, and when relationships built over years go quiet under pressure, one tension lingers. Is that silence a betrayal, or an instinct for self-preservation learned the hard way?
Talking about Busta Rhymes before.
Oh, yeah.
In some of your videos.
Oh, yeah. Super Zest Monster. For sure, bro. That's my thing, bro. Like, this been common knowledge, though. Like, all my promoter homies would always say, man, we gotta bring some other We gotta bring some, what they call them, I'm not gonna say it on here. They call them fun boys. They'll say we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Cause you know, I bodyguarded for Ghostface Killer before, you feel me? And being around him, you hear things, you feel me? I'm like, damn. And my auntie like the biggest Busta Rhymes fan, you feel me? Like every cookout she playing it, all his little fast rapping, all of that, him and Craig Mack playing that. Bro, on my soul, I'm out with a group of people. At this time, I was with Don Benjamin. You familiar with him?
No, I never heard of him.
Model dude, like a model guy. He be doing like some rapping and stuff. His name Don Benjamin. I'm out with Don Benjamin, and the club we ended up going to, Busta Rhymes in there. So it was a little lawyer guy that was with us. And the little lawyer guy we was with, you know, he was a gay dude, super cool, feel me, good guy.
What makes the documentary uneasy isn't the original comments, it's the system that reshaped them. A remark gets clipped, the clip spreads, and spreading becomes its own form of proof. In this environment, conflict is rarely spontaneous. It gets sharpened, boosted, and turned into content. Nuance fades as the story gets simpler, because outrage always travels farther than any correction. The industry isn't waiting for meaning anymore, it's waiting for engagement. And once attention itself becomes the payoff, a harder question follows. A system built to profit from distortion. Who actually benefits from telling the truth?
The Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad. Like, what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope, and tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't come with us. Well, I know he was in the little group. So if I go out with somebody, like a group of people, I try to make sure everybody get there together and leave together. No, he stayed with them. He stayed in there with them, bro. For sure, bro. You ain't never heard about this before, have you? Bro, this common knowledge, bro. Like, if you in the mix, bro. If you in the mix, like I've been in the mix, you know this, bro.
How long has it been like this known about Busta Rhymes?
Well, I knew about this like in 2012. I knew about this in 2012.
How can we think nobody else speaks up on it or says anything?
Because, bro, these people admire these people so much. They want to make sure they in the section, they at the club, they at the video shoot, they can get backstage. That matter most to them. That matters so much to people. It's crazy. Like, but if you notice, like, there's countless videos of Busta Rhymes getting mad at females for just being girls.
Documentary moves into rougher territory once jokes about identity and personal life start being treated as entertainment. Hip-hop has long struggled with masculinity as both a shield and a performance, often letting critique slide into ridicule. Here, the fallout goes beyond reputation. Stigma spreads faster than facts and outlasts any apology. The film doesn't moralize. It asks whether the culture has caught up to the real cost of casual dehumanization. And when a joke leaves damage that can't be undone, the question stays open. What point does content stop being commentary and start being...
He go crazy, throw a drink on her and everything. See what I'm saying? Like, what? Why you getting mad at females? You go to these guys, they in the club, go to their section. It's all men in the section. That ain't weird to nobody. I'm going to the bar, sorry. Text me if it get dangerous. But there's all this club security in here, like nothing's finna happen. Nobody wanna kill you guys, bro. Like, when I get jobs from people who really got a threat on their life, I move way different. Nobody wants to kill these entertainers like that, bro. Like when I do my threat assessment, there's never an immediate threat of danger. It's never a situation that they're gonna tell me, oh, this person wants to murder me, or this person wants to bring harm on me. It's never like that. Them type of people be normal guys. So I hear somebody say, oh, he's cute, I want him. So when I heard that, I turned around like, man, did he just say that? You got all this jewelry to attract some men in here? You wild. Shocked me. But sure enough.
And that was the guy that Busta Rhymes pulled back?
He pulled him into the section. Pulled him into the section, and then they walled him off like this man. I'm like, damn. And that little dude was so happy. He couldn't believe that. He was shocked. But man, you ask, bro, anybody that's in the mix, bro, like you know, bro. Most of these dudes, bro, putting on a major act. They don't want to be themselves.
It's crazy.
They'll get mad at you for buying bottles of champagne to get the girls. They'll get mad, oh, we don't want these bottle rats in our section. What are we here for? Why are y'all here then? What are y'all here for? Just because y'all got booked to be here, okay, but sometimes they not booked. They just in there. So, and what they looking for, it ain't gonna be what you thinking of, on God.
Rather than deny or disappear, the documentary frames 50 Cent's response as calculated, less about explanation, more about timing and impact. Humor becomes a tool of leverage, not a way of dodging the issue. In digital spaces, a short, quotable moment beats a long defense every time, and control goes to whoever creates something people want to replay. It's a strategy that understands modern influence. Once people are laughing, the narrative is already set. But strategy comes with responsibility. When humor is used as pressure instead of persuasion, the question gets sharper. Who decides when influence tips into something else?
You know Busta Rhymes came out, telling people to mind their business when it comes to Diddy, right?
You gotta realize that Busta Rhymes and anybody in the industry could say what they wanna say and speak on what they wanna speak. They got a right to do that. Just like we got a right to. He can't tell nobody not to say this, not to say that, when he has the right to say what he wanna say. And I guess that's why people coming out on Busta Rhymes saying he's zesty now, because he made comments like that. But I've been around Busta. I know Busta Rhymes. I don't never know him for being like that. But I don't know what other people see, and I'm not gonna speak on that. Because I don't care about that. See, a lot of people, if that's all he could give to the people, then that's all he giving to the people. But not one time, did he speak on his relationship with Diddy? Has he been to the Diddy party? Has he been to the after party? Did he say, well, I've never been to an after party, so y'all gotta wait to speak on, y'all gotta wait to see what they talking about before y'all speak on it.
Once Diddy enters the story, the tone shifts, not because of anything he's said, but because of what his presence represents. He's framed less as an individual and more as a stand-in for institutional power, long-standing relationships, and careers tangled together. Busta's push for restraint gets read differently depending on who's watching.
Say I've never been to an after party. Has I been to the front door of the party? Yeah. Have I been to the after party? Nah, never.
Never been to the freak house, huh? I mean, since I've been knowing you, you've been consistent about that. So, I believe you, man. But you heard about these reports that Diddy having a hard time selling his Hollywood home? It's not attracting any buyers?
It probably wouldn't attract any buyers until after, a lot of times when tragedies happen and people be in those type of places with the energy going, it would be around 5 years before they go up on market and resell. Like if somebody murdered in the house, you gotta realize they're not gonna go in there and somebody say, oh shit, I wanna be here, man. Motherfucker was murdered in here. You understand? Those houses may not go up to sell for like 5 years.
Right. And what's going on with Tony Busby? I seen you make a comment saying that he might drop his cases.
I think that's a misunderstanding. What I'm saying to you is that he's gonna go with the cases that he know right off the bat that Puff is really probably ready to settle out because it's so strong and the evidence may be so strong against Puff that he don't want that to run through the public or let the public hear those things. As a lawyer, he's going to say, these cases are strong enough for me to get the quick grab money and go about my business. And then if he gets enough money off of that, he may not have to do the other cases. He may drop the other people. It depends. He's gonna go with the strongest cases.
Some see it as loyalty on principle. Others see it as caution shaped by proximity to power. The documentary avoids drawing conclusions, choosing instead to trace patterns of protection within tightly connected circles. And when systems of power reward silence with stability, the tension never fully resolves. Is loyalty an act of courage or a decision shaped by what it costs to speak?
50, you know good and well that I woke up to this bullshit you done started this morning, and I was the one that was leaving everybody alone. So what you doing is giving niggas false narratives, homie. You talking about you just went to buy a leather jacket. You ain't bothering nobody. You left niggas alone. And I went and bought a leather fucking hairline. Well, let me tell you something, buddy. Want some real G shit? Let me tell you something. You talking about that pimpin' curly that you was doing as a character? But no, you was doing pimpin' curly in real life too. Trying to look like Rico Suave or one of them niggas going down a red carpet at one of them movie shits that you was involved with. And I don't want you to use that as no excuse neither, talking about you was playing a character. You wasn't in character when you had to go down that red carpet. You could have got back to yourself, my nigga, but you chose to stay in character with that Rico Suave shit, some berries and sweet juices you had up in your head top, my nigga. Now, I do want you to know I'm your brother, so I'm gonna always support you and everything you do. I ain't been doing nothing but that since the inception of our friendship. Violate up. Now, with that being said, I got one question to the masses. There's several products that you have to incorporate to get your shit to look like Rico 50. All right? Fuck Rico Suave. We talking about Rico 50. Let's see which one of the products that he used to get to looking like Rico 50. Was it this? Or was it this? Or was it this? Matter of fact, I think the real question is, did he blend all three of these shits to look like this? Chill. I got a grand prize for anyone that jumps in the comments, any consumer around the world that used to also use these products to help identify, doing a forensic deep dive and a research and a data analytics on those products to help us understand, was it a combined effort of all three, or was it a combined effort of two, or was it just one of them to get you to look like Rico 50? Now, with that being said, if you guess right what the blend was chemically for that motherfucking berry juice look for Rico 50, you might win the grand prize. Until then, just know, the blessings don't stop, so we gonna just keep this shit going as long as we need to. Because if the blessings don't stop, I don't motherfucking stop. And we don't stop. Dragon season, bitches.